on here. It's not coming off. See, it's not crunchy. It feels like leather now. This is how it was before. After, it's shinier. It's a little bit more slick. And if you're skeptical, I've got nothing more to say.
What if we're living in a fantasy?
In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a sofa that has good bones but bad fabric and give it an updated look. Stay tuned because I have a lot of tips.
Out of every scene, a hidden land for you and me.
Here I am right here in the magazine, whole article about my shop in Solana Beach. This is a picture of the sofa right here. Can you see it? That sofa was a Pottery Barn denim sofa, and it had been stained and it had been bleached. I had sent pictures to Coastal Living magazine to entice them to write an article about my store. The editor called me back and she said, "Debbie, we love your store, but we do articles mostly on homes." She asked me if my house was cute. Yes, my house is super cute. It's so cute. My house was just a disaster. I never put any love into it because I was just working in my store 7 days a week.
I found this sofa at my local consignment shop. I loved the shape, but I was concerned that the textured fabric would look weird when I painted it and that the transfers would not adhere well.
I'm awakened by the truth.
It's a lot easier to paint a sofa when you are using a darker color than the original fabric. Here I'm using black velvet, which is highly pigmented and pretty much covers in one coat. I'm using the spray bottle and I diluted the paint, working the pigments into the fabric so it works like a dye, using the spray bottle continually and working my way around the sofa.
If you never come around, how we ever gonna be? If you're always on the ground, then you're never gonna see what falling feels like. Falling feels.
Because DIY paint is so heavily pigmented, 5 times more pigment than your average paint, it doesn't have any self-levelers or any latex or acrylic in it. Paint will work into the fibers of the fabric and you don't have it sitting on the surface, so your fabric is not going to crack as long as you work it down in.
Orbiting the universe to where you are.
I wanted to give this Victorian sofa a really modern look, so I painted the fabric and the frame all the same color because I wanted the transfers to pop. The velvet sofa I painted 3 years ago took 2 weeks. I was able to finish this sofa in 1 day because of the difference in the fabric.
I told the editor that it was cute, and she asked me to send her some pictures as soon as possible. I literally had to move crap out of the way and set up like a little corner that looked cute, took a picture, then move all the stuff to another corner and took another picture, and I just faked my way through the photo shoot. At that time, I didn't even own a computer or a camera. I had to go to the Thrifties and get one of those disposable cameras. This is what I sent. And then she called me back, and "Debbie, we love your house, we love your store, and we are going to send a photographer out and a writer. They are going to write an article for our magazine, and they will be out in 6 months." Oh, how am I going to make my house look good for real? I was broke. I was on such a tight budget. My sofa was stained. It was ratty. It was covered in golden retriever hair. I stripped off the slip cover. Maybe I could just paint it. What have I got to lose? And this was before chalk paint. This was 2005. And the arms, they went out like, you know how arms go out like this? So I thought I could encrust the arms with seashells and put a little hula skirt at the bottom and paint the whole thing. That is the first sofa that I ever painted.
It's a long road to greatness, but I ain't afraid to face it, 'cause I know I'm gonna make it.
Before you apply a transfer to any surface, it's really important to apply a top coat first. Even if you're painting a dresser or a wood surface, The top coat helps the transfer glide on and adhere better. I decided to use Big Top for the sofa. It has a heavy shine to it, and I knew it would give me the modern look. DIY paint dries very flat and chalky, so a top coat will deepen the color. It also changed the look of the fabric from a damask fabric to a look like tooled leather, which was the look that I was going for.
It's the noise and the fashion.
Then I just thought, okay, you know, painting sofas is not really like a good thing to do unless you're totally desperate like I was. But then my friend Beth from Farm Fresh Vintage Finds, she told me that you could actually paint a sofa for real. You could keep the fabric soft if you water down the paint. You're painting, but you're not really painting, you're dyeing the fabric. She told me to get a spray bottle and work the pigments of the paint into the fibers of the fabric. This is the sofa right here. This is the cushion, and you can see that it still has a lot of dog hair on it. See this part right here? There's a little part of the 70s gold that did not get painted. See it? It's right there. I painted that sofa in 2000, 3 years ago. And every day people ask me questions about painting velvet couches. I have a whole blog post answering every question that anyone has ever asked me. I will put the link to that down below. I hung all these umbrellas from the ceiling because there was a big hole in the roof. They took pictures of my house and they took pictures of my store. There's the sofa right there. Can you see it? Can you see the seashells and the little hula skirt that I glued on? I just hot glued the hula skirt to the bottom. I didn't sew it or anything. It was just all smoke and mirrors.
Letting you know you're not alone. Letting you know you're not alone.
I was concerned that the transfer would not adhere to the textured fabric, but the transfer ended up grabbing onto the fabric even more so than some of the wood surfaces I've done in the past. I think it's also important to use a fabric that doesn't have a heavy nap, like velvet or corduroy. You want something that is a tight weave.
I wanna try to understand, but if it doesn't feel right,
I used 2 different transfers for this project, cutting them up into pieces to fit the shape of my sofa, and I used a lot of leftover scraps from previous projects.
I wanna take that step with you. Wanna do
This is Midnight Garden Ladies in Waiting. This is the transfer that has the biggest flowers in it. I wanted a big dramatic effect, so I used this, entomology, the butterflies and the bugs. The Midnight Garden and the Ladies in Waiting were the main transfers that I used, and then I used scraps of other things. Transfers come with these little sticks. You rub it on like a temporary tattoo, and you get it nice and adhered to the surface of the fabric.
Tea, 2 sugars, milk and honey, please show when the drink is cup like this most every day.
I only applied the transfers in the hard areas of the sofa where the fabric wouldn't move. I avoided the cushion and the backrest, applying it to the arms, the sides, the backs, and the legs.
Every word till now has been in vain. Lock the doors and bolt the windows, crack the knuckles, pop the elbows. Take away now, come on and make my day now.
These transfers have grid lines so you can cut them up and use them like puzzle pieces, creating your own new design. Or you can use them as is and apply them in one big sheet.
I am on fire. Do not quench, do not stifle, pull the trigger, shoot the rifle, not afraid to bleed from what perspired.
This right here is Big Top. It took this whole container. See, that's how much I have left. When you apply the Big Top, it's gonna look shiny. I wanted that shine because I had seen a picture of a black chair on Pinterest. I will put the link down below, but it looked like leather. And I thought that the shininess would give the sofa like more of a modern look.
You want to apply a sealer underneath your transfer and over your transfer after you have applied it. You can use wax or you can use Big Top like I'm doing here.
Between the flesh and the bone, that old devil found a way in me. When the nights grow wild, you can find me with a smoke and a drink, in a bar that's hopping with all the false prophets surrounding me. So I see, yeah, you got a lover.
I applied the transfer only to the parts that would be flat. So I applied it down here, I applied it on the back. I didn't want to put the transfers on the actual cushion. If you sit on the transfers, then the fabric is going to move and then the transfers could rip and break. I have not painted the back yet because I wanted to get this video done. This is gross still, just for all of you skeptics out there. Look, it's not cracking, and you can totally squish it up and you can rough it up. It feels like leather now. This is how it was before. After, it's shinier. It's a little bit more slick. And if you're skeptical, I've got nothing more to say.
Life's a coat of many colors. It is never black and white. Can't have one without the other. The dark without the light.
I'm spending money like I just got paid.
To find out more about the products I used in this video, to find DIY paint in your area, or to sell it in your store, click the link below. And if you would like to meet me in person, I will be in McKinney, Texas on March 21st, teaching a workshop with the Turquoise Iris and Kara of Kara's Color Me Vintage. There are a few tickets left and the links are below. Let me know in the comments if you have ever tried to salvage a ratty sofa. And subscribe. I have a new video coming next week. Thanks for watching.
I just feel so good.